Well, hey there, hi there, and hello, my fellow entrepreneurs from around the world. I hope that this video finds you safe and well for you and your family. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about business growth and metrics, and I'm going to be running you through step by step what metrics I'm tracking at the moment in my business to just sort of see if I'm on track to achieve my goals, and also some things that might need adjusting in order to make sure that happens, and how my business is going. By metrics, and I know I've had this question before, is metrics, is it analytics? What I'm talking about, I'll just give you examples, okay? I don't know which term is better, whether it's a metric or it's an analytic, okay? But I mean things like how much money came in, how much money went out for the week, things like how many people came to my website, how many people signed up for my email list, watching videos, some of that stuff, and also some qualitative type stuff, like how did I feel that week? You know, was I stressed out? What worked, what didn't work, some of that sort of thing. I am going to show you my spreadsheet. Don't judge me. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting experience. And if you want a copy of the spreadsheet to use as your starting point, I will make that available. I'm sure there will be a link around this video for you somewhere. The other thing I do want to suggest too is when I first started my business, I didn't want to track anything because I knew it was all going to be big fat zeros. And what I found is when I did actually start tracking, and some things still were at zero, once I started tracking them and having them at zero, they didn't stay zero for long. Just the very point of tracking them actually made things change a little bit. So I do want to point that out to you, that this can be very valuable. So even if you think, I don't want to track that because I don't want to see that zero, you might want to put it in anyway. It's been a really valuable experience. I also want to tell you just another quick story about an entrepreneur who was using this kind of system to run her 7-figure business of gyms, where she only had to log into a spreadsheet for 2 to 3 hours a week, and that was her whole business management. Everybody else put stuff into the spreadsheets, and then she got copies. She could look at them, are things healthy, how are things tracking, and make some adjustments, and then that was her managing her business. And that is somewhere I would like to get to one day. So that's another reason I'm sharing this. So let's dive in. Okay guys, here's the spreadsheet. Okay, it's split into two. There's a high level, and then here's the detail, okay? But the high level summarizes what's behind it, okay? So you've got numbers for January, February, and March. What you need to know is, number one, this is the scariest video I have ever created. I'm stressed now a little bit that I'm sharing my real numbers. And you need to know that my business is going through a transitional period right now, as I'm doing a little less on the client side and trying to do more in the online business side. So the numbers are not as they've always been. This is the first time in the last few months, I've worked out this particular approach to tracking my metrics. I used to track my money stuff in a different place and my social media stuff in a different place, and then how I felt in a different place, and now I've actually got it all together because I heard that story about the entrepreneur who had everything in a spreadsheet and she could log in and look at that for 2 to 3 hours and sort that out. So this is why I'm doing it this way now, and I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it, and I think that you should know the real me. And I guess if you want to, you can always hit pause and look at my numbers and judge me, but this is the real me. This is the income of my business. This is not the only income. We have other sources of income from other, like my husband has a job and I have other sources of income myself as well. So I'm not I'm not on the breadlines yet, but here we go. So just look down here. I have the dates across the top, okay, and then down here I have sort of my income for this week, my expenses for this week, and that's the high level of expenses. And actually, I kind of go through my bank statement and just add up all the numbers. That's what I'm doing at the moment to get my gross profit, all right? I do have budgets and other spreadsheets, things that track there as well, but this is kind of like what I'm doing at the moment to see numbers, money in the bank numbers, right? People who watched my videos, signed up to the email list, YouTube subscribers this week. Look, there's a 1, right? There's new clients this week, free strategy calls, which are my sales calls or discovery calls, people booked into group classes, quotes sent to potential clients. I like to track that. And then these are my qualitative questions that I used to do in journaling for a long time. Am I on track to achieve my goals? What needs to change? What worked well? What didn't work well? And how was I feeling about it all? Okay. And then I just sit down once a week, although I'm a little late on this latest week, but I do go and catch them up, and I sit down and then I just fill these numbers out. And even though, like, you can see there were more zeros, and the email list, I wasn't promoting anything. There wasn't really an opt-in out that was working. And so then here's where I got my new opt-in out. And then this one here, it's going to say more. Actually, on 22nd, it's going to say 11 right there, right? I'll just put that in now, just so you know. That's what that's going to do, unless more come in, right? But so you can see it's just a really great way to get yourself centered and show how you are tracking things. And then just on this one, we have, this is the year to date. You can see that this number, 26,000 people, it's tracking numbers from the spreadsheet behind. So it's just adding up this column all the way across to Z, and in order to show the high level numbers. So over time we'll be able to see how things are tracking. And like I said, I used to do the money thing in a separate place, and I used to do this other social media thing in a different place, and this is the first time I've got it all in one place. Don't know why it never occurred to me to do it all in one place, but this is how I do this. And I sit down for 30 minutes max to do this stuff when I don't get too busy. So that's my spreadsheet. This is the real me. You can pause and look at my numbers and judge me if you want. But yeah, like, as long as I'm tracking things and things are growing and they're going in the direction that I want to for my business, I'm happy. I have enough money to pay for everything that I need to at the moment. Even in amongst coronavirus fears, I have savings, things like that. So things are going well and they're going on track for me still, for the moment. All right. If you have any questions and you want a copy of this and you want any help with it, just let me know. There will be a link to download a copy, and if you have questions, just get in touch or hit me up in the comments. All right, thanks for joining me. That's it from me. Bye for now.